Hello students, today we are going to study the mechanism of urine formation. Kidney contains more than 1 million of microscopic structure called the nephrons. Nephrons are the structural and functional unit of kidney. They are microscopic in nature and they are responsible for the formation of urine. They filter the blood and removes the harmful substances like urea, uric acid, creatinine and extra water as urine, and also reabsorbs useful materials from the filtrate formed in the Bowman's capsule. The process of urine formation includes 3 steps. First is ultrafiltration, then tubular reabsorption, and third is tubular secretion. The first step, that is ultrafiltration, takes place in the renal corpuscles, which includes the Bowman capsule and the glomerulus. The blood vessels which brings blood to the kidney is called the renal artery, which further divides to forms the arteriole. The arteriole which takes the blood into the Bowman's capsule is called the efferent arteriole. The diameter of the efferent arteriole is larger in comparison to the efferent arteriole which takes away the blood from the Bowman's capsule. As the blood flows from the efferent arteriole and it has a larger diameter in comparison to the efferent arteriole, so the blood flows is at high pressure and it hits the glomerulus and filtration takes place, and the filtrate is collected in the Bowman's capsular space. Glomerulus is a network of capillaries and it is of 3 layers, and it also contains spores. Through these spores the filtration takes place and the filtrate is collected in this Bowman's capsular space. Only the small molecules like glucose, amino acid, urea, uric acid, creatinine and salts pass through the membrane and are collected in this region, and the large molecules like proteins and blood vessels such as RBC, WBC, platelets remain in this glomerulus and goes through the efferent arteriole. The blood which contains the proteins and the blood cells enters the efferent arteriole and it flows through the peritubular capillaries which surrounds the renal tubule of the nephron. Further, the peritubular capillaries reunite to form the venule and the venules reunite to form the renal vein. This blue color is the renal vein which take away the pure blood from the kidney. So the first step, that is ultrafiltration, takes place in the Bowman's capsule and the filtrate is collected in the Bowman's capsular region which contains nutrients like glucose, amino acids and harmful substances like urea, uric acid, creatinine and some salts. Now the filtrate flows to the first part of the renal tubule, that is the proximal convoluted tubule. The second step of urine formation, that is selective reabsorption, start in the PCT. Most of the water and nutrients are reabsorbed into the blood here. Some substances like glucose, amino acid, sodium ion, potassium ion, calcium ion, vitamin C are absorbed actively into the blood vessel. And some substances like water, urea, chlorine ion, they are absorbed passively into the blood vessel. The second step, that is tubular reabsorption, takes place throughout the tubule, that is in the PCT, loop of family and DCT. As the filtrate flows through the PCT, it comes into the loop of Henle. This is the descending loop of Henle and this one is the ascending loop of Henle. So in the descending loop of Henle, as this is permeable to water and impermeable to salt, so maximum absorption of water takes place in the descending loop of Henle. As this is impermeable to salt, so salt absorption doesn't take place in this region. Ascending loop of Henle is permeable to salt but impermeable to water, so salt is absorbed in this region. From the loop of Henle, the filtrate flows into the DCT or distal convoluted tubule. In the distal convoluted tubule, sodium ions are actively absorbed into the blood vessel and water is passively absorbed into the blood vessel. Sodium ions which are absorbed into the blood vessel through DCT is due to the impact of a hormone aldosterone, and water which is passively absorbed by the blood vessel is due to the impact of a hormone, that is antidiuretic hormone. In collecting tubule also, maximum water is absorbed as per the requirement of the body. The third step is the secretion. The unwanted waste material which are not filtered in the Bowman capsule are secreted back to the tubule through the blood vessels. The secretion also takes place at the PCT, DCT and collecting tubule. Small amount of urea which is left in the blood vessel is secreted back at the PCT. From peritubular capillaries, the substances like urea, uric acid, creatinine, hydrogen ion, potassium ion, pigments, any medicinal drugs also flows into the DCT. This process is an active process and takes place with the help of energy. The substances which have escaped at ultrafiltration in the capillaries are actively released to the DCT, due to which the concentration of the urine becomes hypertonic. Now the urine which is formed at the DCT or distal convoluted tubule then flows into the collecting tubule. From the collecting tubule, the urine flows into the pelvis region of the kidney. In this diagram, we can clearly observe that the collecting tubule brings the urine into the pelvis region. That is, all the collecting tubule from each nephrons collects urine and brings into the pelvis region, and from the pelvis region the urine flows into the ureter, and from the ureter the urine flows into the urinary bladder, and through the urethra urine flows or is excreted out of the body. This is all about the process of urine formation. Thank you.